Hello guys, this is Ashton from Game Genie Labs, up for part 3 of the how to make a Game Genie code based off of disassembly tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a 3-line Game Genie code. Now, I consider this version to be a little bit on the advanced side, but it's not that hard to make a 3-line Game Genie code. It's just, this is just a basic 3-line, and I'm going to show you my process of doing it. So to explain 3 lines, first you have to understand also how the disassembly is structured, which, as you can see, we have. So to make a 3-line Game Genie code, you're going to have to refer to the entire address amount. In this case, we're looking at 9C46, B9, 2 at 2890. Now, these don't matter for now. However, I will say if you want to get a good effect, I'd say an LDA is a good way to basically have like an interesting effect and stuff. So focus onto this one, how this is 9C46. Now, I did some research on the disassembly, just trying to find a specific value, and I found one of them. So I wanted to create a Game Genie code that basically you press the start button in game, or basically you pause the game, and it messes up the terrain, except this is like a different version of it because I'm using a JMP opcode method. So to show you what I mean, so I already searched start button right here. Then I scrolled down. I tried a little bit of these, and most of them crashed until I got to here, which is on the set pause, which is on 81C2. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go. Let's go ahead and go to the Game Genie ROM, and remember this value right here: 81C2 8D7607. Now let's go to the Game Genie encoder that's right here. And we're going to go to 81C2, and our value that we're going to compare is 8D, and then the value that we want to replace it is 4C. Now, where did I get that? So back to the disassembly and onto another subpage, we have some opcodes. And so if you remember 8D, if we do that in Control F right here, you'll see that is for STA. And of course, you can always check that, because if it's an STA, it basically just shows you that opcode right there. So we know it's an STA with a syntax of this and a hex value of 8D and a length of 3. Now let's go and let's do 4C, which I know is JMP. Now JMP is, well, basically you could go to a subroutine or like a part in the code, like JSR, JMP work very similar if I'm not mistaken. So we get two choices, 4C or 6C, but since the syntax kind of matches and the length is good, there is our first code. And if you want, we could even check. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this. And on this notepad right here, let me just increase that so you can see a little bit better. So our first code to check is this, and looking at the Game Genie encoder and stuff, we know that this is the same thing. So that's the first code. Now for the next one, going back to the disassembly, let's see. So the value now we're looking at are these two values right here, the 9C and the 46. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare what's the next one. So right here, we're going to look at the 81C2. Now we're going for the next one, we're going to do 81C3. Let me just show you. It's already right here. And on the Game Genie ROM, it is 81C3. And then we're going to compare it with 76. Where did I get that 76? The 76 comes from the 81C2. address that has a 76 and an 07, which is technically referring to 0776, which is applied to this variable here. So going back to this, where do we get our value? Well, we can put 9C46 right here, and we can compare that. And what we could do is we can do 46 as the value. And let's go ahead and check that code on the notepad. And yes, that is correct right there. So basically, let's go ahead and add this. Now the final one we're going to do, see right here, I put 81C3. The compare is 76, and the value is 46. Just as a little bit of a recap. Now the final one we're going to do is 81C4, and this one, let's do compare 7 and value. Let's see if I'm correct here. 9C. And you're probably wondering, where did I get that? And finally, before I end off this video, let me just explain this. So let's see, where was it? So on the set pause right here with the 8.1 and C2, the 7 comes from here. So notice how on the Game Genie encoder and decoder we have a 7 here, and then right here's a 9C. That 9C going all the way back to here follows to this one right here, the 9C46, which is right here. This is if you're referring to JMP or JS or stuff like that, if you want to do that. Now it is on the advanced side, but you can do some pretty interesting stuff with this method. Of course, you don't have to use JMP. You could even modify this code to be, I don't know, like a store in the area data or just something like that if you just want to have an effect like that. I just showed you the JMP example. And finally, let's go ahead and check our code according to the encoder. So it's KOKAGPYE. And I believe that's exactly what this is right here. So now, since we have 3 of these codes, now let's test them. Troubleshooting your codes is very important if you want to see them work. I just decided to use a code I already created just to make it easier. But it's easy to make these codes. It's easy to come up with ways. It's just a little bit interesting when it comes to thinking about how they work. So let's go ahead and test these codes out right now. So let's go ahead. Okay, so notice how it's basically making the level have the castle background, something I've not seen yet. Oh, and by the way, this code I created, this is another code I created. It's kind of like pig goat, and it just makes you swim. The only plus is that you get to stop on enemies, and you get to run on the ground. So it's a very useful code I also created. I'm just giving you an example, but look, you can run, you can go at full speed at swimming, which I don't think is even possible. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you can't run underwater or even attack enemies. And you can basically do a one-up trick with this, which is a pretty fun way to use this code. But it's really easy to make 3-line codes. You can even make even more lines, but like keep in mind that Game Genie only supports up to 3 codes. So I recommend sticking with 1 to 3 codes to make at once. So yeah, let's go ahead and start pausing and unpausing. And as you can see, um, it places these background fortress walls. So yeah, that's basically what I have to show you with this series on how to make Game Genie codes. Hopefully you understand now how to make your own codes. And thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys later. Um, Again, any codes on this channel are free to review or use. Just credit, and that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you understand how to make your own Game Genie codes. See you later. Bye.